Everybody, welcome to my channel, Darksiders Comics. Well, wait a minute. No, that's not how I call myself anymore. Cosmonaut Comics. Yes, I was once Darksiders Comics, but since I'm making a comic book, I changed it to Cosmonaut Comics. I think that's more appropriate. Although I hear from some people that they liked Darksiders Comics a little bit more because they know me from that name for a very long time. Today we're going to do Aliens Hive issue number 2 of 4. If you want to know what's going on in issue number 1, check it out. Comment, like, subscribe, and all that YouTube jazz would help me a lot. Thank you so much. And this is by Jerry Prosser and Kelly Jones. Kelly Jones is a veteran, just like, I did yesterday The Hood with the Cal Hotz, another veteran. I just like these guys. These are good, let's say, horror-esque artists doing very, very good stuff. Kelly Jones, by the way, a little bit of a shilling here. He's doing now Dracula Volume 3 on Kickstarter, trade paperback. Is it? No, it's not really a trade paperback. It's just a comic book, also in hardcover, lots of pages. I have Volume 1 lying around here. I need to get Volume 2. Great stuff. Check it out if you want. Dracula, just Dracula. Anyway, without further ado, let's dive in. And now the story can be a little bit sometimes throws you, let's say the writer throws you some stuff into the storyline that I think, is this really necessary? Is this something that I need to know? Is this important to the overall story arc? Or is it just, a little bit of a story drip feeding that keeps the story busy? Like if you play games, downloadable content like DLC or side missions, instead of, going through the main mission. Now, I don't mind that, but sometimes it could be a little bit confusing here and there. I mean, this is only 4 issues. I think you should stay on topic on the main issue, main storyline. But sometimes it deviates a little bit. But I'm not saying that it has no repercussions or has consequences, but sometimes I just wonder, is this going somewhere? For instance, we have this, so the long story short, there's some crew on the planet. And we have some guys on orbit, and there is some, destroyed ship here flying around the orbit called the Dolomite, and these guys picking up the black box. And I'm not sure if this is the captain or I don't know their ranks, or they probably mentioned in Volume 1, but that was a month ago. Anyway, so, but these are the ones are not in orbit. These are the ones, in space. These are the ones that are flying in the air in some kind of a spaceship, watching what's happening on the surface, because there's people there that needs to go, extract some kind of a yelly goo from the alien queen so that they can make, ecstasy or drugs, and they can sell it for a huge profit on Earth or whatever planet. That's basically the goal. And we have also a dog here that we see with a blue ball, and it's, let's see around it, right? And it seems that this woman here has a talk with one of the synthetics, and they have just a random chat. And that's what I mean. This chat that you can read here, does it go somewhere? Is it important? She talks that's the impression that I'm giving, that's been giving me here, is that she sometimes fantasizes out of not being human and basically, want to be a synthetic or everything except human. Again, not sure if that is important or is just some kind of a storytelling, because that's what she's saying here. And I feel that this is not really necessary for the story, but I could be wrong, right? It could be just drip feeding some lore or, that. And then these guys that went into space recovered the black box, and he says, hey, here's some video footage. And he says, this is Captain Potter of the Lancet. You are guilty of criminal trespass. You won't live to regret your decision. Then they're being shot, and then it's over. So again, is this the trespasser, and are the Dolomites, these guys are then the aggressor or the ones that are being destroyed by these guys? But these ships don't look very big according to The Dolomite looks like a big giant chip, but they are being destroyed. So again, who is who? Or is this guy and then shooting at the Dolomite? You know what I'm saying? That's not very clear. What I do like is Kelly Jones's art and the colorist, who is Les Dorscheid. Is that how you say it? When it comes to coloring and shading, I mean, let's say the art. Kelly Jones is very good with black shades, darkness, stuff like that. You know, he's very good with it. I love this little bit of visual here. Small thing, really good. Meanwhile, we have this woman here, and okay, now this is the weird part. So I forgot her journey, let's say, but this guy, he's a scientist, he is dying, and I believe he has cancer, and he has some kind of, he got some from the doctor, some goo, and I believe it could be the jelly that they are talking about, you know, from the alien queen, and it gives him, you know, he's going into some kind of a dream state, and he's basically, his wildest fantasies come to life, and he has an infatuation of this woman, right? Now, I'm not sure what her deal is with him. I believe she is just using him to get what she wants. Again, guessing. She also thinks she's muses of the value of an eternity consisting only of solipsism and memory. Basically what he's now going through, right? And so she asks herself, or to him, are you, what am I saying? Stan, what are you dreaming about? Am I with you? What? Yeah, that's it. Our walks through Central Park, reading the children in the library, making love. Norbert's first steps. Yeah, so this is a robot. So there was not an alien. He says, Julie, is it time? How long I've been out? Not long. We're just now getting ready. I was dreaming of you. And he said, he wants to reveal what he's, and she says, no, don't speak. Don't tell me. Don't tell me your secrets. That way you're so much more mysterious. Why are you saying that? The only mystery about me is how long it will be until I start believing that kind of talk from you. Julia, I'd like to ask you a favor. If you're making any of this up for my benefit, please don't stop. I like that. So basically he's simping for her, and, you know, he gobbles all up her praise and, you know, that kind of stuff. And then we have also an ant. Well, spoiler, the ant is a robot, just like Norbert, but yeah, they have different functions. But I think this whole story is a little bit going into an ant colony. You know, there's some similarities between the aliens and the ants. It's been told here as well. So the scientist guy says, hey boy, you got a brand new color. Bye, Mac. Thanks for your help. Maybe I'll see you again. You'll always be a good memory. So this is XL1. And he's going with the dog to the surface of the planet. And I thought, why? Why would you put a dog in danger? Right? It's full of aliens. Hey, Max, stay. Let me activate your collar. So again, I'm not sure what the collar does. Is it some kind of a tracking device? But then I believe through the dog, or maybe through Norbert, that's the other name, the scientist guy, give XL1. So he has basically two names. And there is a corpse on the surface of this planet. Looks like an alien. So he orders Norbert to investigate. So Norbert and the dog comes closer, and Norbert says, internal organs are functioning, but at a very slow rate. It seems intact and without injury. It may be sleeping or is unconscious. And then the dog is looking, and we have these guys that with sleeping or unconscious aliens. So the dog starts barking, and these guys says, hey, Tony, it's a dog. Hey, come here, Pooch, who is your master? And then we have it's one of them is awake. But this is, of course, Norbert, the robot. So are these the ones, again, just guessing, right, that did this? Are they part of this crew that they launched a shuttle to the surface to, or, like I said, it's confusing. Who are these guys? Okay, again, and talking about the jelly, right, that I talked about earlier. So I believe, I mean, that's what they believe, is that these drones have the jelly of the queen for reasons with them, and they are harvesting them. So maybe there's another party that wants to have the jelly too for the same reasons these guys do. I don't know. I really don't know. But this this is great. Look at this. He says, "What the hell?" Oh no. He says it closes the door. So scientist guy is then talking to Julie. And again, there's some dialogue here about this synthetic that is not properly function, and this could be, I don't know, man. It's just, it doesn't gel. I made a joke. It doesn't gel with me very much when it comes to storytelling. Again, is this important? Anyway, let's move on. So he says to the robot, "Hey, give me a good picture of the locking mechanism." So he's basically instructing him to what to do. So this guy says, "What is he doing awake?" What is he doing awake? Oh, sorry, that's how you read it. How the hell should I know? How soon to the rendezvous with Lancet? Who is Lancet? Don't know. Not soon enough because the alien robot is here, although they do not know that this is a robot, which is fun. And then we have... What? Did he just drive his whole body through... So whole face through his body? Now, I also like this slower, methodical way of visual storytelling. I mean, if you could take out this particular part and this particular part, you could have just dot, and you have it complete. But Kelly Jones just takes it slow. You know, this guy's trying to, get away, hiding. And then we see, again, with the shadows on his face, right? It's really cool. He grabs him and then kills him. And then the next page here is then we have blood on the visor of this creature, which the doctor says, "Hey, can you wipe the blood off because I can't see," right? I still don't know what happened to the dog, by the way, but okay. But then Julie here, I believe this is Julie with the scar. She said, it looks like the beekeepers has been here before. Okay, so there's a returning party, right? And then she says, "Let's just get somebody down here to pilot the thing." What thing? You mean the ship? Again, questions. We both go back to the Dolomite. Why would you go back to the Dolomite? Oh, wait a minute. That's not good. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I was completely wrong. This is the Dolomite and this is the destroyed ship. Okay. Oh, okay. I was wrong. Never mind. So they want to go back to the ship. And so he instructs then the robot to, "Hey, check for damages and other systems." And he says there is some damage on the ship, but he cannot know if it's serious or not. "Give me the visual of conditions outside." So the robot looks outside of the ship. And he looks, there is some, aliens? Now we know what they did. It looks like the crew was using some kind of an infrasonic suppression system. And you think, hey, that's brilliant. I wish I could up with, was the one that, came up with it. Anyway, so they need to, I don't know, he wants to experiment on that particular thing. But we never see that or gonna see that. Meanwhile, we have Robot and Doggy here while the aliens just are outside. And then the robot says, he activates something. He says, "Sorry, boy." And then keep close tabs on them. Since our work's been done here for us, we got time for some research. Activate your tracking system. I want a trail left that we can follow later. So basically they have the jelly right now, but they still want to want to have more information, more experiments. So these creatures go back into the lair, and then we have a different kind of narrative that speaks from the point of an ant called Ari. Now, Ari is the ant that you see before. But it also is, with the story here with Ari the ant is also compared what the robot alien is doing, right? Basically exactly what he's doing. He also has some kind of a brain aneurysm or something because he's still suffering for the condition that he has cancer. There is no dialogue about that, but since he is dying, he has some kind of a spasms once in a while that he's in intense pain. But the narrative or the writer doesn't tell us in this issue, but I know that from the last issue. But I like this, again, out of nowhere, particular scene visual that this guy is in pain and that death is close. I like that. Meanwhile, the dog has been kidnapped, or is it just running along with the hive? So the robot, enters then the lair and he sees then the alien queen, right? So basically they want to come back, but they leave a trail so that they can, extract the jelly from the queen, I guess. But then there is a guard here and that approaches the robot. And then they have some kind of not really a standoff, but it's just on guard. Who are you? Asked the guard. Ari continued to advance, surely in the knowledge that she would be able to deal with the circumstances. Calling a she because the ant is female, although that doesn't make any sense because she's a robot. It is a robot, Jesus. Her programming was sound and her alloy chassis would withstand a great deal of punishment. Wait for it. Oh shit, get out of there. All system online defenses mode alpha. So, okay, this creature figured out that this is not part of the hive and sees it as a danger. And then they are chasing them, which is cool. Ari run through the nest as far as the 6 legs could carry her. Again, an ant, not this robot. The wave of glistering black bodies moved ahead with the precision of military regime on the parade grounds, a million-legged phalanx. The desire to reach the destination coursed through black, chitinous bodies. Mandibles snapped and ground in anticipation. All right. But then there is a dead end, so the robot turns around. She saw nothing but the legs, alley trucks and gasters of her opponent. She was quickly overcome by the force of numbers. Her internal cooling system became overtaxed. Now, also, this cool visual, blackness closed in. Instead of we see the aliens rip this robot apart, we see just this flat line, like a heartbeat. Great stuff. So the doctor's very upset, and he said, "Oh, why did I set him in? We had everything we came for." And then I believe this captain of the ship, that is in orbit, this guy here, I guess, says, "Hey, you need to get out of here. There's bad weather coming." And she says, "It wouldn't be necessary. We have a full cargo of jelly," because he says, "Hey, can you return now? We always do this again when it lets up." What's with the hair through her face? Anyway. But then it says, "I can't say I'm sorry to hear about that," talking about the robot being destroyed, and this guy's very upset. It shouldn't take us long to get man down here, and then we could just lift off and both head into orbit together for a pickup. Norbert thinks we should go. I heard. I'm sorry about Norbert. I mean, XL1. Yeah, well, okay, he feels bad, and Harry, I got some bad news for you. So this is the robot ant, right? But then lightning strikes this hovercraft shuttle, and everything explodes. And she says, "Gil, the stabilizers are gone. We got to get to one of the pods. All hands abandon ship." But this one is a synthetic. And she says, "You need to protect us at all costs. That is your programming, right?" All right. And then they are just ejecting from the ship towards the, towards the surface. And this particular scene tells me that, oh man, they're going down really, really fast, right? This very anticlimactic. Where's the impact, right? It just feels like a static shot, and then with some sound effects here. That's just no. And then, oh man, what a ride! Are you okay? I think so. Better than if we stay behind, but because the ship then, that's how I see it. This ship falls out of the sky, probably damaged because of the lightning, and then some kind of an atomic explosion. It looks weird somehow. I don't know why it looks weird, but it means that they are stranded here on this planet with aliens. But the question is, how far are they away from this shuttle, right? From this thing. Are they too far away? Who knows? Well, we're gonna find out in the next issue. So yeah, I like it, but you know, there is some quality writing issues. Not that the writing is not bad or something. I think that's very engaging, especially with the and reference. But sometimes I think, okay, where are you going with this? Is this important again? You know, that. Overall, fun. We have 2 issues to go, guys. Yeah. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you so much for watching as always. See you next time. Bye-bye.